The Lone Star Le Mans 6 hours in the extreme heat of the circuit in the Americas is underway. Antonio Giovinazzi, the pole man, and right behind it, Robert Kubica tucks in. The second of the Ferraris, the red car up the inside, looking for third place. That's a really strong start. Aggressive from Miguel Molina. Lots of handfuls of opposite lot from the BMWs, but it is Molina up to third. Ferdy Habsburg in the pale blue Alpine down to fourth place. We ride on board with him. He's got one of the BMWs and now ahead of the Cadillac. And everybody through safely, and move up into second place from Francois Heriot in the silver Ferrari, right behind Ian James in the Aston Martin. The Lamborghini goes around the outside of the Toyota. Aggressive stuff. Who started the Lamborghini? The 63 guys, Edo Mortara. He was really up for the race this morning. Can't quite get the job done.
That's one heck of a start for the Lamborghini. Started from the very back of the grid in Hypercar. I think he's passed about 6 cars in the early corners.
Yeah, and a strong start for both BMWs as well, making positions, but it was Kobayashi, one of the Toyotas, I believe, got pushed out or lost control momentarily through the chicane at the start, and I think that's how he lost out to the Lamborghini, who's now on the attack once again. But it's a four-way fight down towards turn 12 and contact with the Cadillac and the Alpine there. Yeah, the Alpine just turned in on the Cadillac. That's Ferdy Habsburg, and he's gone off. So too has Earl Bamber, and he's back on, but Habsburg dropped back in the 35 car in amongst the Porsches, the Toyota and the Lamborghini.
Yeah, briefly also off there in that melee was one of the BMWs.
Moved down the inside from car 5 there. Porsche just getting through on the recovering Cadillac.
So that's Fred McAveeky, and he's jumped up from his qualifying position as well, up to 7th place.
Kobayashi passed the Alpine. That was obviously the car that went wide in that bit of contact with the Cadillac in turn 12. So 2 positions regained after losing them for Kobayashi, for Conway, sorry, car 7.
In fact, Fred Mako started 6th in that Porsche, got shuffled back in the first turn, and he's now made one of those places back up to 7th. Into the pit stop, car number 5. Wow, drama on the opening lap and on the formation lap. So McAveeky in the pit lane.
Conway being under the attack there, maybe passed by the Alpine. No, Conway's just going to hang on to this one. But yeah, that was some aggressive driving from the Alpine as the Peugeot's into the pits as well, car 94.
Well, dear me, also looking at the back of that battle, look at Edo Mortara in that Lamborghini.
He was in such fine form this morning. He was really chomping at the bit to get into the car, so he's looking forward to this. 99 has moved itself up a couple of spots, the white car with the green highlights. Proton Porsche of Harry Tingle. Left rear puncture for 94 Peugeot, so contact in the field for Stoffel van Dorn. And there are the 2 Hertz Team Jota cars, one with the white livery, one with the black livery, celebrating Mobil One's 50th anniversary. Part of the partnership in Hertz Team Jota. Yeah, Phil Hansen on the attack with his teammate Will Stevens. Down towards turn 12 they come, side-by-side stuff for the 2 Jotas. Battle for 11th place behind the 10th spot Lamborghini.
But the 38 starting from 17th position, so great progress there as well from another of the cars. Going with the Lamborghini, Phil Hansen through this field. Yeah, Phil Hansen always starts the 38 car, and he's really moved up strong, as you said. Looking back from Edo Mortara, and the Toyota trying to get in on the action there as well. Yeah, Brendan Harley tries to pop it down the inside in turn 15. Nothing doing from that move as Phil Hansen hangs on to the position for now. Toyota started 9th and 12th. Mike Conway's moved up to 8th, but Brendan Harley has been shuffled back down 1 to 13th.
So a net gain at the moment from Mike Conway, 1 position further up the field than where he started, but he did lose out on 2 positions, as we saw. I want to see maybe a replay of what happened there, because I saw some cars jump the inside corners of turns 3, 4 and 5.
Unusual looking leaderboard. Ferrari, BMW, 4th and 5th, then the Peugeot and the Cadillac. The Cadillac got shuffled back down, but a really good start for the BMWs. Number 5 Porsche was brought in because the pitot tube on the car that measures the actual airspeed in the car, so its actual speed, was left on the car. So Bruce Joanny in the pit lane. Bruce, a little bit of human error.
Yeah, exactly. Car number 5, Porsche Penske, had to come back in because they forgot to take off the safety on the pitot tube, which is the air intake that Anthony can explain what it's made for, so they had to come to remove it.
Yeah, pitot tubes come initially from aircraft where you can't mount measure ground speed, you have to measure your speed through the air, and it's how quick the air rushes into the tiny hole on this little tube that measures the speed. So they don't have GPS that's accurate enough for cars at this speed.
And because they're a delicate piece of equipment, and they're quite sharp as well, they cover them up. So, yeah, for safety reasons, they needed to take that. What a mistake to make,
Well,
though.
I wonder if that's a safety thing or a regulatory thing, that the FIA measuring the ground speed through the pitot tube as well as the T-mark, because they use that for correlating their wheel revolutions to the speed, so they know if they're getting too much slip. Meanwhile, sorry, Graham, at the front of LMGT3, Ian James leads in the Aston Martin, the Ferrari of Clément Mature in second place, and then the Iron Dame, François Heriot rather, then the Iron Dames Lamborghini of Sarah Bovy in third, ahead of Tom van Rompuy, who's fourth in the Corvette.
Further progress, by the way, for Lamborghini into the top 10 by Eder Mortara from 18th on this grid. Great start from the Lambo.
And he's saying that they are going to double stint that car as well. They feel pretty happy with it, and it's certainly having a good run. He's got one of the Hertz Team Jota cars, Will Stevens, latched onto his tail. We're behind the other car of Phil Hansen now as we ride on board with Brendan Hartley. So the Toyota team, we are expecting to single stint their drivers. You can't do tyre changes at every stop, but we expect them to change their drivers. We might see a little bit of right rear only, or maybe right side tyres, but this is, although it's an anti-clockwise circuit, the same as Interlagos where we were last month, but it's almost got the same number of corners. It's got 11 lefts but 9 right-hand turns. So it's a fairly even tyre wear across both sides of the car.
Vaxivier, I believe he's a little bit out of position here for the speed of that car. He should have been further up the grid yesterday. We talked about the dramas, the problems that Mick Schumacher had in qualifying with that wasp inside the cockpit of all reasons. But yeah, he lost out on getting the car further up the grid. So I feel like Vaxivier at the moment in car number 36, the Alpine, the blue Alpine, is faster than the cars in front of him right now. He's all the way down in P16.
Yeah, I'm struggling a lot in all the fast corner, like also deep. I cannot be flat.
Okay, is it an understeer problem?
Ooh, okay. So he's got a handling imbalance. Well, this track has changed so much. You can see how black the new tarmac is. They relayed the pavement here all the way from between the final corners, 19 and 20, all the way up through turn 1, down through turn 2. The incident between Earl Bamber and Ferdy Habsburg under investigation. So they will be looking at a lot of incidents on the opening lap, some that we saw and some that we probably didn't. But the change of bright blue sky or cloud cover can make a 10-degree or at least 5-degree change in the temperature of the track as well. So grip comes and goes. Track has been getting grippier and grippier and grippier as the race weekend has gone along. Maybe Alpine have just underestimated or overestimated how much grip might be available today.
Except at turn 2, slippery surface warnings at turn 2, so quite what is down there.
Debris. So I know it's not a slippery surface, but there isn't such a thing as a debris flag. Normally it might be a waved yellow, so I wonder if the debris also includes somebody's lost a little bit of fluid there as well. François Heriot and Tom van Rompuy battling for third place in LMGT3. The blue heart of racing Aston Martin, Ian James, is the leader. Sarah Bovy now up to second place. She's got ahead of this silver Ferrari. So this is the car that was second on the opening lap after a strong start from François Heriot. And he and Tom van Rompuy in this battle, they're both planning to do a double stint to use up their entire minimum drive time. Each driver category has a minimum drive time that they must complete to score points. And that battle now being called by the 94 Peugeot.
Yeah, that 94 Peugeot, hearing from Bruce in the pits, has got a bit of damage rear left. That might be the source of the debris.
This will be the change for second, just out braking himself a fraction at the top of the hill in turn 1. Anthony, talk to us about turn 1. As you go up there, presumably all you're seeing is clouds.
Yeah, it's a steep elevation change of around 20-25 metres, so you can brake later generally into that corner because of that elevation. This is a great shot. We were just momentarily on board with the BMW. You can see the track rise up in front of you, so you can brake a bit deeper into the corner, but unfortunately for Heriot, a little bit too late, and then the corner itself sits on top of the brow of the hill. Very hard to see the apex of turn 1.
Battle for third place, Miguel Molina in the Ferrari with Marco Wittmann right behind him and challenging in the BMW.